Good morning, students. Today I will start chapter 12 Statistics of class 9th. In this chapter, first of all, I want to tell you about the statistics. It is a branch of mathematics that deals with the collection, presentation, analysis, and interpretation of data. Now, what do you mean by data? If you are collecting this is data. Collection of facts or figures collected with a definite purpose is called data. Now, data can be grouped also. When a data is condensed into classes or groups, then it is called group data. Next term is group frequency distribution. When we are making a tabular arrangement of data with frequency of each group of observation is called group frequency distribution. And there are types of group frequency distribution. First is exclusive form and second is inclusive form. In this exclusive form are group frequency data in which upper limit excluded and lower limit included. For example, 0 to 10. In this, upper limit is excluded. That means we are not included this. And lower limit is included. So 0 to 9. So this is exclusive form of or continuous form of group frequency distribution. And then 10 to 20. In this 10 is included but 20 is not included. That means it is excluded. But in the inclusive form, a group frequency distribution of data in which upper limit as well as lower limit included in the class interval. For example, 0 to 19, 20 to 39, 40 to 59. In this, upper limit and lower limit both are included in its class. Now next term is graphical representation of data. When data is represented pictorially or graphically, they become more easily understandable. So we shall deal with the following type of graphs. First is bar graph and second is histogram. Now what do you mean by bar graph? In the bar graph of uniform widths are drawn with equal spacing between them and height of bar represents the frequency of the corresponding observation. And a histogram is graphical representation of a group frequency distribution in which exclusive form in the form of rectangles with class intervals as bases and corresponding frequencies as heights. Now I am going to tell you about the examples of both the terms bar graph and histogram, but first of all I am going to tell you about the class mark also. Now what do you mean by class mark? Class mark, the formula of class mark is upper limit plus lower limit upon 2. First example is find the class mark of class 90 to 120 is. In this lower limit is 90 and the upper limit is 120. So formula is upper limit plus lower limit divided by 2. So upper limit 90 plus 120 upon 2. So this is 210 upon 2. This is 105. Now we have to find out the second example. Find the sum of class marks of classes 10 to 14 and 20 to 30. So first of all calculate the class mark of 10 to 14. Class mark of class 10 to 14 is upper limit plus lower limit upon 2, that is 24 upon 2. So this is 12. Next, class mark of 20 to 30 is 20 plus 30 upon 2. So it is 50 upon 2, it is 25. Now we have to find out the sum of both the class marks. So 12 plus 25 is 37. Now this is an example of bar graph. In this question is a family with a monthly income of rupees 20,000 had planned the following expenditure per month under various heads. This table is given to you. Heads is grocery and expenditure in 1000 rupees. Grocery 4,000 rupees. Rent 5,000 rupees. Education of children 5,000. Medicine 2,000 rupees. Fuel 2,000. Entertainment 1,000. Miscellaneous 1,000. Draw a bar graph for the above data. Now we have to draw this bar graph of this given data. We represent the heads, that means variable, on the horizontal axis. This is horizontal axis, put 0 here and x here. This is horizontal axis and this is OY, this is vertical axis. And we represent the expenditure, that means value, on the vertical axis. We can choose this scale. 1 unit is equals to 1000 rupees. To represent our first head, that means grocery, on the vertical axis, we draw a rectangular bar. This is called a rectangular bar with width. This width is 1 unit and height is 4 units. Similarly, we can draw this rent on the rectangular bar with width is 1 unit and this is 5, height is 5 units, and so on. We can draw this graph. You can see this whole graph. 1 unit, you have to mention the scale and then draw all the rectangular bars with the 4, 5, 5, 2, 1, 1 and 2 units. Okay. Next is draw histogram for the following data. Marks 10, 20, 20, 30, 30, 40, 40, 50, 50, 60, 60, 70 and 70, 80. And number of candidates are 2, 5, 6, 4, 8, 10 and 5. Take OX as horizontal axis and this OY is vertical axis. They both are perpendicular lines and this is origin O. Along OX represent class intervals 10, 20, 20, 30, 30, 40 and so on. And along this OY mark frequencies, that is number of candidates. Now what is the scale here? Scale is 1 unit is equals to 2 candidates. In this we are putting 0 to 2, 2 to 4, 4 to 6, 6 to 8, 10 to 12 and 14. Now draw the rectangles with bases with base 10 to 20, 20 to 30, etc. and the height represented by the corresponding frequencies. That means this 10 to 20 we are making this 2 units, and then 20 to 30 we are making rectangular bar of 5 units. 4 to 6 in between, this is 5 units, and 30 to 40 this is 6 units, 40 to 50 this is 4 units, and 50 to 60 8 units, 60 to 70 10 units and so on. So this is the histogram. This is an example of histogram. Students, one thing I am going to tell you, in this bar graph we have to leave the equal spaces in between. That means leave 1 units in between the rectangular bars, but in the histogram we are not supposed to leave any gap. Okay, in this histogram we have to join all the rectangular bars. So this is all about today class. Okay, thank you so much students. Bye.